Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a little bit of a different video for you guys. So basically where this video is coming from is there's this girl here on YouTube. She has an amazing channel and more than anything she just genuinely seems like an incredible person. And I know I say this with like a huge smile and I'm sounding not sincere at all because it sounds really cheesy to say, but you guys know probably that I don't mention very many other channels and YouTubers very often. But this girl, I have to like basically dedicate a whole video to her because I don't think she realizes how much I love her and her channel, but also her videos that she just kind of like, she has some fun videos like makeup video, like beauty videos, like challenges, like all sorts of fun things, but she does do a lot of videos where she just sits down and talks to you like you're her friend and she's just having a heart-to-heart with you. And those are like my favorite kind of videos to watch because I feel like you really get a sense and a feel for the person that's on the other end and what they're going through and what they feel like, and just like a genuine person, a genuine friend. And she comes across as so sincere and so genuine and just like so real in her videos that I feel like I'm sitting in the car or wherever. She does a lot of videos in her car, like I'm talking to a friend, and it just comes to get me on a whole new level, and I love watching her videos and her channel so much. So I'm just gonna stop the suspense here and tell you this is As Told by Gigi here on YouTube, and girl, I really hope you're watching this and that I'm making you smile right now because I truly love you and your channel so much. You make videos that really, I watch every single second of every single one of your videos that I watch, and they truly make a difference in my day. It's not just someone I watch the video and I comment on to support them. I would watch you no matter how small or how big you were. I love you and your videos. But I think it comes from the fact that you're just so, you keep it so real and so raw, and I love that. I love it so much. So basically the reason that I'm filming this video is because a few weeks ago when I'm filming that, on July 4th, I have it pulled up here so I see it, on July 14th she posted a video called Motivational Speech. I'm going to link it in the description box of this video, but if you guys have not seen it, go watch it, because if you're either late teens or you're in your 20s, whether it's early 20s or late 20s, I think you'll be able to relate to this and understand where she's coming from. This video gave me a lot of perspective, but also made me feel so much less alone in the way that I was feeling. And I started to comment. I had commented this huge reply to the video, and then accidentally tried to copy like, I'm such an idiot sometimes. I tried to copy paste it so that I wouldn't lose it, because like if the page refreshed or something like that, because it was already so long and I was only like a third of the way through the video. And then I accidentally deleted the whole thing, okay? And then when I tried to copy paste it, and then I restarted the video so that I could redo all the comments that I had done, reached the end of the video and realized my comment was too long to post. I didn't even know that was possible, but YouTube was not allowing me to post my comment. And when I saw that, I was like, you know what? Like, clearly my comment wasn't meant to happen on this video because like, it just like failed so many times, but I wasn't about to let that stop me because this video really turned my day, my month, my summer, my year around. And I'm not saying that as an exaggeration. I truly mean it, that this video really made me think and also be able to relate, so much so that I felt like less alone in my worries and thoughts and everything. Anyways, this video is already going to be really long and I think I'm at like 4 minutes already, so I'm just going to get into my reaction to this video. I just kind of wanted to sit here and react to the video with you and kind of share my thoughts because I had a lot of the same. I'm not trying to copy this video by any means. I just kind of wanted to show my perspective of the whole like journey, because she's a little bit older than me. She's in her late 20s and I'm still in my early 20s, and I still was able to relate to so much, and I don't think I'm at the same, let's say, phase in my life as she is, but I can imagine still feeling the way I do now when I reach her point. And so it was just very eye-opening for me, and I just wanted, you know, if we do have a little bit of a different audience, maybe I wanted to reach some of you who might not have seen this video to tell you, go on over to her channel, check out that video, and also give you my perspective and my experience as being in my early 20s to maybe some of you who are still in their teens or late teens or around the same age as me. So I'm gonna stop babbling now and just get into it. Hey guys, so this is actually a separate day from when you just saw that intro being filmed. What happened was my battery died, and then by the time I recharged it, there was people home, and I just wanted to be, you know, home alone with my thoughts when filming this video, because I do have a lot to say and I just kind of want to pour my heart and soul out there. So it's a few days later and I'm going to finish off this video. So basically this video, just as a little recap, was Gigi going on about reflecting on being in her 20s. She is in her later 20s. I think she said she was 27. I'm 21. I'm about to turn 22. So I just started my 20s, but I feel like this is applicable. It's like a general sentiment and feeling between being in your late teens, so like from about 18 to like becoming an adult basically, through your 20s, that you can kind of feel this way. There's no specific age. Everyone feels things within their own time depending on what their circumstances are, if you're in school, if you're not, where you're at in your life. I think we can all relate on a certain level. And what really resonated with me is when she said that a lot of people say your 20s are supposed to be the best years of your life. I had heard this a lot about my teens, and now being in my 20s, about my 20s. And I can't say so far that I have felt that at all. I will say that I have preferred my 20s so far compared to my teens, just because I was going through a lot, like really hard times. I would say I had a rough time from the age of about 15 to 18 was like a really rough time for a lot of different reasons. And the only part about being in my 20s that I find a little bit better is that I still do live at home, so it's not like I'm independent and on my own by any means, but I do have a little bit more of a freedom and an independence being in my early 20s. My parents, you know, they want to know where I am, what I'm doing, and I'm often home with them and things like that, but it's not so much. I'm a little bit more independent to make my own choices, and I have a little bit more of my own life, which I like that aspect of it. But for the most part, I just feel very, not insecure in myself, but insecure in what my life holds because of the uncertainty and unknown, basically, of what I want from life. To a certain extent, I think now that I've figured out who I am, I'm confident in who I am and my personality, but I don't really know what I want out of life in terms of like career goals and specifically what I want to do. I am a business major because it's a good major to have, but from there I don't know where I want to go, and I don't feel like I love my major or my business school as much as most people that are in it do, and so that kind of makes me feel lost and like without a purpose and without a reason for what I'm doing. She talked a lot about having hit certain milestones by certain ages. Now for me personally, I always thought kids and marriage not before 30. That was always how I thought. I thought I wanted to go to school, find a career, travel, have fun in my 20s and work on myself, and then think about all that later. But now I know I still do have a lot of time. I'm going to be 22. I have 8 years before I'm 30. A lot can happen in that amount of time, but I still feel like next thing you know, I'll be 30 and I'm not going to have reached or be where I thought I was going to be. And I think that's what's hard, is that society has programmed us to think of certain ages to have certain milestones done, and then have certain goals and things like that. And although I am technically in society's norms of finishing university soon, having a degree, and then starting a career, I don't know what that means for me. All I've ever done is go to school, and the idea of finishing school in 2 years terrifies me. I don't know what I'm going to be doing, where I'm going to be at in life. I don't, the idea that I never pictured staying where I live now forever, but the idea in 2 years that I'm just going to pick up and leave my whole life behind and move to a new place is terrifying. Exciting, but terrifying, and I don't know what I want anymore. I think we have programmed in our brains all these milestones we have to reach because of society, but I don't know, is that really what I want? You know, I can't even imagine reaching your later 20s having that pressure to settle down and be with someone, and if you're not, feeling like you have failed or you're not being where you're supposed to be, because to a certain extent I already feel like I'm behind on everyone else. I don't know. I've been trying to I don't know how personal I want to get with this video. I still have a hard time opening up about certain things, and that's not specifically to you guys, it's just in general, and I just feel behind on a lot of fronts in terms of friendships and relationships. I feel behind in a lot of ways being the age I am and the experience that I have, and often that makes me feel like I am behind and I won't be like everyone else in that aspect, and that kind of scares me and discourages me at the same time. It's hard to explain this to you without actually going into more details, but she was talking about having these moments of just breakdowns and feeling like you just don't know where your life is going, and that's has happened to me so many times where I just have these days where I feel like, what? I'm living this life and I'm constantly working for the future, pursuing something to make myself better, and my whole life I've worked towards this point of graduating school to build my life from there, and I'm reaching this point and I thought I would know what I want or where I'm going, and I still don't, and that uncertainty freaks me the hell out because I'm someone who always has a plan, who always knows where I'm going, what I'm doing, when it's going to happen, and just not knowing and having it be my whole life in my own hands is the scariest thing. And I know people say that it's gonna, fall into place and you have to let things happen and just go with opportunities that present themselves and try and keep an open mind, but that can be really difficult for someone who is very anxious and stresses about every little detail. I think it's just the kind of personality and the way I am that pushes me to worry and freak out about all these little minor details that apparently will fall into place. But I feel like if I don't make them fall into place, if I don't work towards, because I am a strong believer in you make your own luck. I work my ass off because I want to get somewhere, but I don't even know where that somewhere is yet, if that makes any sense. One of the things that she said that really resonated with me, and it had never really clicked for me until I heard her say these words, I wrote it down, was, you are where you need to be in that moment in life. And that really resonated with me because I'm a strong believer in everything happens for a reason, and to just think that no matter what's happening in your life right now, that's where you need to be, and it's happening for a reason. That really gave me a lot of comfort in a lot of ways, not in the sense of I'm just going to sit back now and let life take its ride for me, because I don't believe that by just sitting back and doing nothing you're going to get anywhere, but it means that I am working towards something, and even though I might not know what that something is yet, I am where I need to be, and the relationships and friendships that I have in my life right now, and all the heartbreak and the happiness that I've felt so far are leading me to a better and bigger purpose. Ways that I've found to cope with those moments when I just break down and see no end in sight is, for me, journaling has been a major thing, coping mechanism, or however you want to put it. Throughout my whole, I would say since I was about 16 or 17, journaling has been my go-to therapy, and I've always liked notebooks and writing and that sort of thing, so I always tried when I was younger, but writing about major issues and trying to challenge myself in my own mind through writing has been just life-changing for me. And I first discovered it through Katie Morton. She's a marriage and family therapist. I'm not sure exactly what her title is, but she has a lot of mental health videos that really go just help everyone with whatever you're dealing with, whatever it is, even if you don't have any major health issues, mental health issues, you can get something out of her videos, and she gives journaling topics out in a lot of her videos. And over the years, just focusing on that and going through those topics with her and journaling has really opened my eyes and helped me discover who I am and what I want, and have really helped calm me down and talk me down in those moments where I felt like nobody else knew where I was coming from, that I was all alone in this world feeling this way, which clearly I'm not, thanks to Gigi, which made me feel so much better. But a lot of the times you do feel all alone and like there's no one you can reach out to. And if that's you right now and you need someone to just talk to you, please leave me a comment, because I think that having this online community can really help those of us who kind of feel like we've wandered off and we're like a little bit lost in even within our own lives and our own relationships. And online, having that little bit of distance between the people that you're relating to but having so much in common at the same time can really help to break down those barriers and those walls that maybe we create in real life with the people that we are closest to. Another thing that I think is really important, which she touched on as well, is to let yourself be sad. If you're feeling like you need to be sad or you need to be upset, let yourself. I know there are way worse things than what me and you are going through, but there's always someone who has it better and someone who has it worse. But you need to take that time, and I'm not saying to wallow, was that the word, wallow? I don't know. In your sadness or in your pain, because that's just going to drag you down even more. But you need to take that time to grieve whatever you're grieving or to accept whatever you're accepting, and then figure out what you can take from that and make yourself a better person. Because letting it out and just learning from those moments of weakness is what's going to make you stronger and what's going to get you to a better place on both a personal level, a professional level, within your relationships, in every aspect of your life. I've found that I always do better when I'm doing things to better myself. Now, whether that be doing things like letting yourself be sad or getting creative, because that's a big one for me as well, to let myself be created and inspired, to journal, to write, to recently I've kind of got back into exercising, which has been a huge anxiety relief for me. Whatever it may be, when you're doing things to take care of yourself and make yourself feel better, it feels like overall in life everything is just going better for you. And similarly to what I touched upon earlier, you know, that notion that we have continuously from day one been programmed to work towards our future, and we've gone to school and worked towards our careers and our life, and we've been programmed that way, which I think means that we end up never being happy with what we have in this moment. That is something I've always struggled with, that I am too much looking ahead all the time and I'm never in this moment. And that's something that I've really tried to work on these last few years, is being present and enjoying what I have right now. That doesn't mean that I can't work towards the future and aspire and hope and dream to be better and work on myself, but it means that I don't have to hate where I am now, or I don't have to look down on myself for not being where I had hoped I'd be, because I'm never going to be happy if I don't take this moment right now and appreciate that I have come a long way. Even if I'm not exactly where I wanted to be in certain aspects, or if I'm further ahead in other aspects than I had planned, that doesn't mean I failed. It means that I'm living life, and I have to take a moment to appreciate that it's happening right now, not in the future. Because if I just continuously work to the future, then eventually the future, there's no more future, and then your whole life all you've done is spent all your time working towards getting better and never appreciating the progress that you have made. The hardest feeling for me has been the feeling of being alone, or at least feeling alone in my uncertainty and feeling misunderstood. I know most people that are going through this right now feel that exact same way, but for some reason, even though in a lot of ways we can probably relate to each other, as well as meet with my friends that are going through the same thing, that are in the same place in life, I always find a way to be different from them. And in a lot of ways, I feel like a complete alien on this planet. Even compared to some of my closest friends, I feel like I'm behind in the partying scene or the relationship scene and things like that. And it sounds so stupid when I put it that way, but I always find a way to make myself feel like I'm on the outside. And I think that that's kind of how everyone feels at this point in their life, because you're still figuring out who you are. Okay, maybe your teenage years is figuring out who you are and what you like and what makes you tick. In that way, I guess I've pretty much figured that out about myself, and I'm not going to apologize for being who I am. But now I need to figure out what I want and who I'm gonna be. Like, I know who I am, but who am I going to be in this world? And that's an even bigger thing, and like, it's just, there's so much pressure, you know? Also, in terms of pressure, there's the societal pressure, the pressure from school, the pressure from my parents because I still am at home, but for the most part, most of the pressure comes from me. I am a very independent, hardworking, like, person, and I put so much pressure on myself to be perfect, and to whatever I set out to attain, I will get there. And it's, I mean, and a lot of people would say that that's a good thing, but I think it's also a very dangerous thing to be such a perfectionist and high achiever, because I am never happy with myself and where I'm at. Whatever I do, I could have done better. And I wouldn't wish that on anyone. And if you're someone like me, like, I don't know what to say, because I can tell anyone around me, you worked your hardest, you did your very best. If that's not good enough, then we're gonna have to move on to something else, because that's all you can do. But I can't take that advice myself. I don't know why. But I think what I've realized, and it's weird because I've done a lot of soul searching, I feel like. I got really sick, like you guys know, from my 3 strep throats and my mono that I got in the spring. I had a lot of time to think because I was really sick and I was kind of just laying on the couch for like 2 months. But I am very overwhelmed and feel very lost. And I feel like it's never good enough, like I was all just saying. But I made a conscious decision after I had, you guys know, like I had a little bit of a hard time, a little bit of heartache at the beginning of this year. I had something really great going and then it was taken away from me, and it was kind of hard to just move on. And what I tend to do is I bounce back quick and I pretend everything's okay, and I don't deal with it until it just weighs down on me to the point where like I get sick from it, literally. But basically I made a conscious decision in that moment that I was going to start putting my best self forward. Just take a moment to think about that, your best self forward. If I am waking up every single day doing my absolute hardest and working my hardest and being the best version of myself, that's all I can do. And I have to go to bed happy that night knowing I was the best version of myself. Because at the end of the day, it's just me. When I go to bed, I have to be the one that's able to stomach and handle the decisions that I've made or the things that I've done or haven't done, and I have to be okay with it. Because at the end of the day, the people that surround you and love you, of course they're going to be affected by this, but nobody has to deal with you as much as you. You are basically in this world the only person that you've got, and you have to be the best version of yourself. And I truly believe that when you are the best version of yourself is when you're going to thrive, to be happier and healthier, and that's when you're going to do best in your friendships and relationships with your family and your friends and people you're dating. And I just think that making that conscious decision, like Gigi had said, to pull yourself out of that hole, to pull yourself out of that darkness, is putting your best self forward. And it's okay when you have days where you feel like you just failed that day. It's okay. Let yourself have those days and feel upset or be, down on yourself. But don't ever put yourself down, because that's just erasing all the progress that you've made. And I think the worst thing you can do is compare yourself to others, because as much as we can relate to each other on a lot of levels, nobody has the exact same experience and life situation and circumstances as you. And where you are in this moment of life, like Gigi said, it's completely changed my perspective. I'd never thought of it that way, but ever since she said that, it's where I need to be right now. As much as sometimes I feel sad about certain friendships I've lost or relationships that haven't worked out, I need to be where I am at right now. I have some great people surrounding me, and I just need to fully be good with myself. And I can honestly say that I'm reaching that point of being so happy with who I am and where I am, that as much as it's scary to face the future, I know that I'm doing the best I can, and that's all I can do. So I honestly think that people on the outside, either whether they're older and they're watching you figure your life out, or whether they're your peers, or someone close to you, whoever it may be, people can judge. But at the end of the day, you're the one that has to be okay with where you're at. And it's not until you reach that point of not giving a shit what other people think of where you're at, and just being okay with where you're at, and knowing that if you're not happy with where you're at, you're the only one that has the power to work towards being a happier version of yourself and being content and good with where you're at. It's only when you reach that point of telling everyone else to, try not to swear on my channel, but you guys know what I was gonna say, that you reach a point of being able to better yourself. And I think that it's also really important, and one last thing that I want to mention here is, because this video is already crazy long, it's that I've realized that I am doing everything that I can to have a good and successful life. And when I was thinking about this the other day, I was going to say that in the video, and then I realized that I can't forget that success does not equal happiness necessarily. For a lot of people, we think that when one day we're successful, we have our idea of what success is and what it means and what it'll bring us. But it doesn't mean that we will be happy. You know, when you reach that level of success, you're still going to want more. So I think that the key to being happy, and therefore getting success out of whatever it is you're doing, whatever level of success you want, will come from being happy with yourself. And the key to that is accepting where you're at right now. And when Gigi said that in her video, it like clicked something in my mind that I had never grasped before, that if I accept where I'm at right now and just continuously try and put my best foot forward, and I'm happy, therefore happy with myself, that's what's going to lead to my definition of success. And having a successful life doesn't mean that I have it all figured out by the time I'm 30, and that I am in a career and getting married and having kids by the time I'm 30. It means that I take one day at a time to be the best version of myself. And when I meet the right person, and when I decide to settle down and get married, and if one day I decide that I want to have little mini Melanies running around, then great. Like, that'll happen in due time when it needs to happen. But in this moment right now, I am where I'm at. I'm almost 22 years old. See, I am 21 right now. Not 22 yet. I'm 21 in this moment. I am happy. I have accomplished a lot since the beginning of the year. I've bettered myself in a lot of ways. I do plan on filming a healthy mind, body, life update type of video. So if you guys want to see that, leave me a comment, because a lot of you guys have been mentioning that you've noticed a difference in me physically and my attitude and whatnot. And I would like to kind of let you guys in a little bit and update you on what's been going on. Again, there's a lot of things I'm not ready to talk about on here, and that's not to say that it's not because I don't want to open up. I do, but there are things that I haven't even told people in real life, and so I need some time. But I just wanted to come on here and say that, Gigi, your channel, first of all, I feel like you're my long lost sister or friend, and when I'm watching you, I connect on so many levels. It's like you're my big sister. Watching that video that you posted a few weeks back, and I wanted to post this as a reaction, like right away, as a response to that video, because I did watch the video right away when you posted it, but I needed some time to think things over and realize where I was at with that whole concept in my mind, and I really wanted to just take some time and sit down and film the video properly. And I just felt like you were my big sister in that video, giving me a big hug and telling me that it was going to be okay. And for that, I cannot thank you enough. If you guys haven't seen that video, check it out. I really hope in some way, I feel like I just rambled on about the way I feel, but hopefully on some level, some of you are able to relate and that it helped some of you guys. And if not, well, there you go. Just another chatty, more serious video from me this time than my usual like beauty stuff. There will be more beauty videos coming up, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you haven't. But for now, I just wanted to kind of have a heart-to-heart with you guys, because I've had a lot of weird realizations lately and connections that have been clicking in my head, and in a lot of ways I feel really relieved by that, and I'm excited to see what the next few years have in store for me. And I'm going to try and enjoy my 20s. I think it's a very confusing time. I've never felt more confused in my whole life, but in a lot of ways I think we have to embrace that confusion. So my camera completely cut me off, which just means that I should stop talking. I'm just gonna say, before I go on another rant, thank you guys so much for your continued love and support on my channel, for all of those of you who subscribe and comment and like my videos and just are there for me and hear me out. And it's really cool that we are able to create like little families and communities here, no matter how big and small. I just thank every single one of you for being here and genuinely being here in this moment with me. It means so much to me, and I wish you guys all the best. If you guys want to post like a reaction video to this or to Gigi's video, definitely leave me a comment letting me know that you've posted your own video, because I would love for us all to just bounce off of one another and relate and share our thoughts and feelings and have little breakthrough moments. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna have to edit this down now because it's like a 40-minute video. I will see you guys next week, and that's it. Bye.